Hey there, toy fans and Star Trek fans in particular. This is the Time Traveling Toy Collector. Welcome back to my channel for my latest video. This video is another review of the Hero Collector Eagle Moss XL Starships range from Star Trek. In particular, a classic faux villain ship. Here, this is the, and I'll pronounce it wrong, so apologies for you Klingon speakers out there, but this is the Katinga class battle cruiser, as used by the Klingon Empire. I'm rotating it slowly because of the length of it, it plays merry havoc with the focus, so just to make no two bones about it. So I'm doing most of the maneuvering of it for the purposes of the video manually today, for this particular video shot. So in standard time traveling toy collector tradition, I'm going to open by saying I, generally speaking, have a very high opinion of the Hero Collector XL range of Star Trek starships. They've released numerous editions over time. I've been quite selective in the ones I've collected, notably usually variants of the USS Enterprise and other hero ships across the main seasons and series within the Star Trek universe. But I don't think you can have a collection of Federation vessels and not have some key enemy vessels to take them on. And here we have perhaps one of the most iconic of all, which is the Klingon battle cruiser. Some of you may have seen the old dinky Klingon battle cruiser of old from the 1970s that went alongside the USS Enterprise from the original series. This screams that toy to me. I did have it, but alas for me, one of the nacelles, I mean, that was very much it was a sort of a turquoise blue body in die-cast metal with some plastic. The nacelles were plastic add-ons, and I remember one of them being stuck on with sellotape. I'm sure my mum had reattached it. I probably had stepped on it or kneeled on it or something, because I was giving it the usual robust play. But this is a very impressive replica. It's, again, I'm going to put my pen into shot here. So this is my pen. You can see the length of my pen. This is nacelle here across the very big expanse. So just to give you the context of the size of this piece, these are not toys. I know I say this every time I do a Star Trek Starship review. These are not toys. This is a very, very beautifully detailed, I would call it a piece of art. So I'm kind of leading with the spoilery end, if you like, where I tell you whether or not I think this is a worthwhile piece. If you haven't probably guessed, I'm going to end with I think it is. It's a beautiful sculpt. It's a beautiful sculpt. You can really see the panel detailing, and I will take it up in hand in a moment and give you a bit more of a close-up. But you can see here the use of transparent plastic to give us the impulse engines beneath what I've always thought to be the secondary bridge on the main drive section of their hull. The wingspan is tremendous on this, and then we have that instantly recognizable expansive neck on this piece. Again, it's superbly detailed all the way along. I don't know how well you can see that at the moment, but I will go in closer. The surface level detailing is really, there's not an element has been missed in terms of going in close and giving us some really excellent detailing. I suspect the front module will remain. Oh, there you go. That's come into focus better than I expected. But you can see the level of detailing there around on the bridge right there. You can see where the main bridge is, and we have all of the detailing around the various windows and lights, and the photon torpedo launch bay right here, which is a particular favourite element of mine. So we'll carry on moving this around. I mean, you can see all of the elements of the detailing here on this module, and it's fed all the way through the structure of this ship. You can see all the interior lighting effects there that form that part of the secondary hull. I mean, I'm calling it a secondary hull purely because we have this module here. It's not quite in the same, obviously the same design as a Federation vessel, but you know what I'm saying. The grill work up here is picked out really well. You can see all of the detailing on the panels there, and I'm repeating myself around the panel detailing, but it's such an exquisite sculpt that I feel it's really worth drawing attention to that. Again, you can see the level of detail along the neck section here, and again all of the very clearly industrially focused and designed workmanship of the Klingon Empire, and indeed I believe the Romulan Empire, as I think some Romulans developed these as birds of prey, one confusing element of continuity, but we won't dwell too heavily on that. I don't know if you can see it there, but you've got the Klingon Insignia. I'll see if I can zoom in and really pull that out so you can get a closer look at that area without it becoming too fuzzy. You can see the Klingon Empire insignias on the wing there, but yeah, the detailing is very good. I mean, you can't fault it. And as I said before, the majority of Eagle Moss and the Hero Collectors stuff, you cannot fault their attention to detail. You can see there the registration of the ship in the original Klingon is included on the wings there. It really is a remarkable piece. I'll just come back out again so you can see the enormity of this particular vessel. It's weighty. Again, it's got die cast and heavy plastic elements to give it the full impact that it most certainly carries. It takes up a lot of space, so you really do need to. I know all of the XL range are classified as a considered purchase, and I'm just going to leave that there because I think that's a fantastic shot, to be perfectly honest. It is a considered purchase for a variety of reasons. You need to consider where you're going to put it, for one thing. Yeah, and it's not cheap. These are not cheap. They're an investment. But like all good collectibles and good pieces of art, you have to invest a bit if you're going to get something of this kind of quality. And it really is. It really is beautiful. And it really does complement the other starships in the range brilliantly. You can get some excellent. I know I've established it's not a toy, but you are able to get some really good photographic work done, having this in shot with some of the other Federation vessels that appear within the XL range. So let's just bring that round again so you can get a real sense of that filling up the screen. It's a beautifully crafted piece, beautifully proportioned. Yeah, I won't lie, it is costly, but it's if this is the sort of thing that you're into, and if you're watching this video, it probably is the sort of thing that you're into. Otherwise, you've really gone astray on your internet search browser. Then there is nothing about this that you would not want to invest in. I'm now going to take it off here in a very bold move, but this one I can actually handle relatively well, just to give you a sense of some of the other angles you can look at it from, so you can really see that detailing across the module section there, across the neck, going into the main body. There we have the wings. I'll just move them out slightly. Hopefully we can refocus, because that's the trouble with something that it really is this big. It's quite the challenge to keep it in focus. But you can see there the level of detailing, the coloration on the main hull. It's really quite spectacular. I'm going to do a complete flip now. I'm being very, very careful because I don't want the neck to bear the weight of anything that I'm doing there. Now look at the coloration there. I mean, that is beautiful, beautiful detailing, undeniably exquisite. And I think as well, yeah, there we are. There's the large Klingon Empire symbol, and the coloration around the wings is really quite something to behold. I'm trying to pop it back a little bit so you can see it in its full glory. That element of shading around the edges of the wings that really gives it that sense of this is not a ship to mess with. You're taking on the Klingons, you know, and they mean business. But this is a great piece. It is, as I say, it is with heft. You can feel that it's not lightweight plastic. It has a quality to it that says, you know, you've invested in this. This wasn't a cheap purchase. So consequently, please put me somewhere safe. Yeah, I re-stress the fact that it's fragile. I personally can really get a sense that if you hold it in the wrong way, that neck is going to snap. But to be fair, don't hold it the wrong way. This is a fair warning. You can see the potential fragility of that neck. This is a display piece. I think I've said it in previous reviews of Hero Collector stuff. This is a work of art, as far as I'm concerned. It's a real beautiful work of art, and there is nothing about this that screams cheap. There is nothing about this that screams cut corners. It is a beautiful piece of work. So if you were to say to me, time traveling toy collector, is this something that I should add to my collection of XL Starships? I would be saying to you, as I seem to say more often than not, absolutely yes. It's beautifully detailed, it's beautifully crafted, it's given all the attention it warrants for a high-grade enemy vessel that really does warrant its own XL ship. I personally think it's one of their most detailed models. I think it's fantastic. My only point really is, and it's not a criticism of the piece, it's just to make you aware, and you can probably get a sense of me trying to keep it in frame. This is a big ship. I mean, it's an XL range. I granted, but if ever there was a ship that demonstrated how XL the range is, it's this one. So bear that in mind if you are an interested party. If you're not sure, head on over to the Hero Collector website and have a browse. They have this, they have many other ships as well. Some you'll be able to see on my channel, some you'll see in the future in my channel, some you won't. As I've mentioned before, I'm not looking at their smaller range, which seems to go on forever, purely because you're in that small version of the ships, you are sacrificing some of the detail. I'm not saying they're not detailed by any stretch of the imagination, and lots of people I know collect them avidly and are very happy, and that's great. It isn't for me, not least because I'd have nowhere to store them. That's the actual fact, and it takes a lot for me to even be selective with the XL range, because there's the part of me that wants them all. But I have been very selective, although there may come a time when I start picking off the gaps, but we're not there yet, thankfully. But yeah, this ship is, for me, a key part of the Star Trek universe history. It would be remiss of me not to have it. So if you were inclined to consider it, I would seriously consider it, and hopefully this little tour of the ship has given you some insight into what it's like. If you have found this useful, then by all means hit the thumbs up and let me know, because maybe it's helped you decide you want it, maybe it's helped you decided you don't want it, but you'll have a look at the Hero Collector website and maybe there'll be something else there that you fancy instead. A sub to the channel would be great, particularly if you found this useful, and that way you'll not miss a single video. Additionally, you could turn on the notifications to really make sure that not one of them passes you by. Alternatively, or in addition to, you could head on over to my Instagram page, Time Travelling Toy Collector, and have a look at some of the toy photography on there, where you will see this and other Star Trek starships from the XL range in action in some of the photography that I've put up there. I do hope this has been interesting and useful for you, even if it is just your mild curiosity about the ships and what Hero Collector are producing. I'm glad you spent the last 10 to 15 minutes with me. I very much appreciate it. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a wonderful audience. This has been the Katinga class battle cruiser from the Klingon Empire. And until the next video, one to beam up, keep safe.